we're stuck in this caveman mentality of like, we're men and we have to, we can't show our emotions, and we're supposed to be tough. We're the tough guys. We're the heroes. We're this, we're that. And it's a big roadblock for a lot of us because, I don't know about where you're at, if this is like this, if it's like this, but for us, police, fire, and ambulance, when you have a tough shift at work, everyone just goes to the bar. They don't talk
Yeah,
about it. They drink about it.
I was about to say that, and even popular culture, which may be changing a little now, but if you think back to the movies, the
Yeah.
movies that were informative as we were growing up, and whenever
Mhm.
there was something challenging going on, well, you found solace in the bottle mostly. So
Yeah,
that was popular culture as well. Oh man, this is a tough moment. You know what? I need a drink, and then the drink will sort it out. And it was almost romanticized on movies.
for sure. Excuse
Can
me.
we can we Gosh, there's so much to talk about, but can we finalize your story? Because
Yeah.
what's the moment, Chris? What was the moment where you went, mate, I
Yeah,
change? And can you share that with us?
absolutely. Um, so the last, say, couple years of my drinking and using career, I had attempted suicide 3 times. I absolutely despised myself. I had taken down all the mirrors out of my house because I hated the sight of myself. Um, and I woke up on January 2nd. I shouldn't say I woke up. I was still up. I woke up on, oh, sorry, I was up on January 2nd, and this is 2011. And I had been drinking and using for about 3 days, and I could not get drunk, and I could not get high. And that was a new experience for me. And I got really, to me, that was very alarming. And I thought, oh my God, my medicine is not working for me anymore. So I the first thing I thought about is, as I said, I had 3 suicide attempts prior to, and I keep saying I woke up, but I sort of came to, and I said to myself, I can't live like this any longer. Something's got to change. And at the time, my only this is how dark it was for me, that my at the time it felt like my only option was to erase myself from the earth. And so I sat in my garage writing down a list of ways that I could commit suicide in the least painful way, where people wouldn't find me, because I had seen what that looks like through work, and I didn't want anyone to have to experience that with me. I didn't want to. Yeah, I and the really interesting thing was, as I was writing that list, I was literally hit with a wave of emotions, and I remembered all those times. So remember I said I had gone to those meetings and everything probably 50 or 60 times, and just relapse after relapse after relapse. Well, what I didn't realize is all those times that I was popping into those meetings for other people, to appease other people, and not really for myself, I was actually, there was little seeds being planted, I guess, that
Mm.
were getting ready to be watered. Because in that moment when I was writing that list of ways to commit suicide, I just dropped the pen, and I remembered the smiling faces, the warmth in the rooms. I remembered the stories that were told, and a lot of those things that I said wouldn't happen, hadn't happened to me, they were starting to happen. I was getting thrown in jail. I was getting, I was broke. I was about to get kicked out of my house. There was a lot of really dark things starting to happen, that I thought, that I always would say I'm not an alcoholic because,
Mm.
um, and in that moment, I just realized that, God, I am exactly like all those people, and I've been running from it for 10 years, and I had the opportunity to change, 10 years ago when I first was introduced to this. So I got rid of that piece of paper, that list of ways to commit suicide. I looked up the first meeting I could. I went directly to that meeting. I waited for an hour for it to open. And the first person that shook my hand, I held their hand, and I did not let go of it. And I bawled my eyes out. I cried as hard as I'd ever cried in my life. I told them just hours ago I was ready to commit suicide. I can't live this way any longer. And it was like, literally, like, I this release of every emotion, and they could not shut me up. I just kept talking and talking and talking. And it was this, like, every time I said something that I'd been holding in, it was like I had suitcases of luggage that was just getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And, by the time I was done with it, selfishly, I took up the whole meeting and made it all about me. But these people were kind enough to see the desperation in my eyes. And,
Yeah.
and, you know, that was the first time that I said, uh, I truly am an alcoholic. I truly am an addict. And I need somebody else to show me how to live. And, I talk about this sometimes. That was the meeting that I had been in so many times, but I went in with a different set of ears, a different set of eyes, a different heart. And, I finally realized that they're on to something, and that, these are people that just want to see me change my life and thrive in recovery. And, from that moment on, like I said, that was January 2nd, 2011. I haven't had a drink or a drug since. From that moment on, I spent every waking moment either with a sponsor. I found the gym again. I found combat sports. I started training Muay Thai, boxing. I started fighting. I started traveling to Thailand for Muay Thai, all over the place for boxing. I started eating differently. I started thinking differently. It was like everything I had, every opportunity I had to add something back to my life, I seized that opportunity. And I just, I couldn't get enough. I was like an addict for healthy outlets after that.
Yeah. Can I ask you? Maybe I'm jumping ahead, but with where you went from that day, and you said you got into combat sports and you started looking after yourself a lot better, training. And did you one day have a moment where you just went, "Hang on a minute, I'm proud of myself"? Like, was it? Is there a memory of that first day or that first
Yeah.
moment?
You know what? The memory, what I really remember is my brother telling me he was proud of me.
Nice.
He was proud. He told me he was proud of me before I could tell myself that I was proud of myself. And knowing that I had my brother's sort of stamp of approval kind of opened the door for me to, allow some self-love and self-compassion into my life.
Yeah.
Um, there was a lot of healing. There was a lot of healing that had to be done, right? And there still is today. I I I probably it probably took me about a year until I could really admit fully that I was proud of myself.
Nice.
Um, and I say that because of all those times that I had tried and failed, I was very, very, very careful not to get overconfident in my recovery, and not to get, and I thought, if I start patting myself on the back, right now, I might start getting complacent. So I had to get myself to a place, obviously with the help of other people. And I credit my life today. I credit to the people in the rooms of recovery, the people, and all the healthy people that I've met in my life. I couldn't have done any of it on my own. I had help, and I had healthy people around me that, were examples and mentors, and, true friends, um, people that stuck by me when nobody else would. And so I think, after hearing so many other people tell me how much I had changed, and being able to, to feel the change and see the change around me, then I was able to say, you know what? Yes, I'm proud of myself for where I am, but we're only where I am today.